This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so hi, for anyone who doesn't know, my name is Natalie Neace, and I just recently graduated from Tab High School. My Girl Scout Gold Award project is titled Steps Toward a Healthy Heart and a Healthy Lifestyle. Let's see if I can. Okay, so to start, I want to provide an overview of what exactly I did. I hosted a two-session event with a target audience of middle school age children to educate and advocate for a healthy heart and a healthy lifestyle. For the first session of approximately 45 minutes, I presented a 30-minute PowerPoint where I covered important terms that pertain to heart health, processed foods, leading participants through identifying them, discussing the functions of our heart, addressing my root cause as the obesity epidemic, explaining the My Plate, and naming self-care goals. Within this PowerPoint, I included a quick ball toss memory game in the middle to serve as a brain break and to secretly get my participants to actively recall what we had discussed so far. This ended up being one of my favorite parts of my project because it provided me reassurance that they were learning new things, and when they recited it nearly word for word, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Finally, for session one, I showed a 15-minute exercise video. This was a huge hit with my participants, and they were having loads of fun doing it. The employees that sat in on my sessions participated as well, and everyone was not only winded but smiling by the end. For my second session of 45 minutes, I featured the patch program. I was informed ahead of time they would not have access to electronics, so I modified this program to be more about self-discovery, and then I included a short paragraph of information for them to read and find answers within. For Connect, I had them create meal plates with large sheets of paper where they labeled and colored each item in the category. The take action choice most of them went for was to discuss what heart health means to them with their table mates, and I enjoyed listening to them put honest thought into my subject. Each participant was provided with a copy of the program, a pencil, box of crayons, and a larger sheet of paper to take home. I have a phone call tomorrow with Miss Brooks to discuss getting the patches into the GSCCC shop for my patch program sustainment. Next, we're going to discuss some roadblocks I experienced and had to overcome. My initial issue was with the communication between myself and my community partner. To get my initial contact, Samantha Prada's email, I had to go on site at the YMCA and ask for it because it was so hard to get any other way. We exchanged a few emails and it eventually became just me sending emails. I had no way of getting a higher point of contact on the chain of command and I felt defeated. So much so, I emailed Miss Link and told her I was debating giving up completely. Little did I know there were a lot more emails in my future with a lot more people. Sometimes I think I spent so much time emailing people I should be considered a professional emailer. I contacted the YMCA and was able to get Chris Sapp's phone number, who ended up being exactly who I needed to reach. We set up a meeting, and before I knew it, I was sitting in front of him explaining a project I had not even created yet in my best detail. He got me contact with Nikki Jones, the senior child care director, and she connected me with the YMCA Water's Edge Church summer camp group. My next issue was patch production. I was first faced with finding a cost-efficient method to order patches so that I was being as financially responsible as possible. Because I waited so long to figure this out, it became an added stressor I didn't need. I eventually decided on the studio because their quote team was very kind and they had a reliable shipping option, keeping my patches valued under $2 per patch. Due to the time crunch, I had to schedule my sessions very close to when my final report was due to ensure the patches had arrived and I was able to award each of my participants with one upon completion. My next problem was not having access to the projector I was promised. No worries, I was able to overcome this and improvise with what I had. I arranged the chairs in a small circle surrounding me and pulled up the PowerPoint on my computer. I used my iPad for any additional notes I needed to view. When it came to the exercise video, I stood behind the computer and served as a follow the leader for anyone who needed it. My last issue was establishing an arrival time. I was never given one by Miss Jones due to a personal emergency, and that made it difficult for me. I found the camp online, discovered their start time, and arrived 30 minutes before that. This was an important lesson to me that I can't assume why Miss Jones wasn't answering me immediately. For some highs and lows of my project, my proposal getting approved was a huge celebration. I felt amazing when I finally submitted the massive final report outlining all of my accomplishments. I realized quickly how intelligent my participants were, and that was a huge boost for me. receiving the patches in the mail and thinking, wow, it's really going to happen. I'm actually going to do this. And Miss Link was amazing. Best mentor I could have asked for. I mean, I kid you not, her response times were always tip-top speed, and her advice was always exactly what I was looking for. Hands down amazing. Now for the lows. I had a huge downfall when I thought I wouldn't get contact with the YMCA. I felt so overworked some days that I wanted to give up. This was a result of trying to fit 80 hours of production into a short amount of time, plus editing software and I are not friends. Lastly, it was hard for me to give up socializing opportunities with friends to work. A lot of the time during July, I was very to myself as I honed in on this project and made it my top priority. For my project successes, I considered my meeting with Mr. Sapp a huge success. When I found a group to work with, it was another milestone I desperately needed. Finishing editing that exercise video, I honestly thought I was going to die. Teaching participants new things was a huge personal success. Seeing them actively recall information in so many different forms amazed me, and I will never forget it. And lastly, hearing them ask me clarifying questions served as an additional reminder that these children are walking out with information they didn't walk in with. And finally, I want to discuss what I'm proud of. I'm immensely proud of what I learned to demonstrate. I learned so much about myself and about the world through this project. I'm proud of how well I educated the participants. I was so scared they wouldn't absorb anything, and I was saying, but they absorbed every last drop, and they kept showing me. It was really great. I'm proud of surpassing my goal of 100 signatures on my petition to advocate for heart health. I've now got over 200 signatures, and I'm hoping for more to come. I'm also proud of putting my project out there in the community through activity booklets. I am so proud of the relationships I built along the way. In the photo where I'm handing the activity booklet to a YMCA employee in the blue shirt with the kids in the back, the lady on the right is Katricia Ashley. She is a Gold Award Girl Scout, and it reminded me that this is a huge deal, and there are people out in the community with amazing accomplishments. I loved being able to hand the booklet to another Girl Scout. And lastly, I'm proud of the lessons I learned. These are things I will carry into my adult life and lessons that will help me in the future. The biggest one, no one is perfect, and that's okay. Thank you.